Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see Qlik's new data automation platform. And so let's just get started. In this video, we will see how we can utilize automation platform of the Qlik to get data into Google spreadsheet and some other options as well. So let's get started. Click on add new automation. Just name it as test drive auto and leave as it is. Click data, enter Google spreadsheet. Here we go. Okay, so it will take you here. We have some other options that we will scheduling option we will get into later. So this is just basic auto start, and here we will use, we see there are a lot of connectors available, but we will use only Qlik Cloud Services and Google Sheet. Qlik Cloud Services has a lot of APIs available for to do a lot of functions, and then similarly we have the Google Sheet. So in this particular one, we will just use Google Sheet, and we just want to append and add some data from Qlik. So just let's get data first from Google Cloud. So there is a table, get state table data. So just append it over here. So you see, it knows that in the straight table data, so there will be a loop, there will be rows. So it has already created a loop, which is a very good way to do it. Good for us. So here now we will configure a few things. I will go there and I will configure Qlik Sheet. So I have a version here, this one. Here I have, so you see, you can write the name or you can just look up. It will give you what it is, and then all the objects that I have are here. And here I'm going to see sales by category, and this is my sales by category table, just for made for this particular purpose. Okay, so if I just test run it, let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. And you see it has shown me what output it has given, and there are 8 rows and it has given me 8 rows. Also, I would suggest that you test run it, because the next step, if you haven't test run it, you might not see the input as for the next step. So it's better at each step when you do it, you test run it. Even if you change certain parameters to get the actual value, you better test run it so that you get the relevant values, as we are using some values from the previous steps. Okay, so now let's get data into first let's guess the Google spreadsheet and append one row to the sheet. Okay, so just let's get it over here. Okay, and now we have to set the connection. I have already set up a connection, but it's fairly easy. You just right click and there will be option you want to select, and you can add it. So I will not go into the details of that. It's very easy. You just have to give the permissions on from your Google account. Okay, so the next step is that we have to do spreadsheet ID. It's fairly simple. Again, as it is connected to my account, it is showing me all my sheet IDs, spreadsheet IDs. Then I can check what sheet name I have to check, sales, and now what value to put in cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and so on. So here we go, and I am putting category in cell 1 and sales amount in cell 2, and save it and run it. and let's see what's happening in my sheet. So I'm getting the data. Okay, great. Now the next steps. It's showing me it has run 8 times. Its log is there, so you can just see what exactly going on. But what if we run it again? Let's run it again. You see, it has started appending the data. But this is not what we want. We want that whenever you run this particular script, it gives you the new data, not append it. So first we have to clear the sheet and then we have to use the data. So let's just go to the editor again and add clear sheet function. I want to add in the middle, so I can just come over here and I can just again give the spreadsheet ID and the sheet ID itself. And if I run it again this time, oh, it's successfully run, and you see only one data is coming. Good so far? Okay. So the next step. What if there is another way? You have multiple tables and you want to see that if the data is not already created for that particular value. So you just want to see that if the sheet exists, if that doesn't exist, then you have to check create that particular sheet. So let's now in this particular step we were going to use a function of condition here. Okay, so let's get started. Now the first step would be I will be getting the list of the sheets here, and it is as it will be a list, so it will be a loop. So and the next step would be I will be deploying a condition from the basics. So I will check a condition. Condition would be that, you see, whenever you are trying to input or value, so all the preceding steps that has been calculated, that had been run, anything, any parameter coming from those steps will be here available for you to use that. Okay, so here what I want to do is that I want to use the title of the sheet, condition equals sales. If that's the case, then the condition is true. So the condition is true, but what should we do? Okay, it's saying that the list is empty, so we need to test it. I haven't put in the list. From where to use that? Yes. And let's just run it. Yeah, here we go. And in this particular one, now I can see it equals to. Okay, so next here comes another step. Basically what I'm going to do is that if whenever the value exists, so I will have a variable and I will input the value of the variable over here, that increase the value, replace the value of a variable. So I have created a variable. I haven't for this particular sheet I will be creating a new variable. Let's call it sales sheet and save it. And now I can use this one, add operation, set value of sales sheet to, there are formulae as well, but we'll just try it y, a string value. Here we go. So what I've done is I have said that if the value sales sheet exists, change this variable's value to y. If doesn't exist, then it's okay. And then we are going to put another conditional over here. So that condition would be So now I'm going to, since I have now checked that whether this sheet exists or not, now I'm going to create the sheet if it doesn't exist. If it exists, I will just run away. Okay, so let's go to sheet functions again and add sheet to spreadsheet. And yes, in this particular case we are getting the value of test run. You see here it is basically asking me I need to test run it, so just test run it. 2 operators are required, so let's just see what's the buzz here is. So okay, so this error is basically because of this one, and let's just put a condition over here. So now I am checking the variable value, and condition should be does not equal. So I am creating a sheet, so sheet should be created if the value of this variable is not equal to 0. Why? So, and where do she add the sheet? So it should be added to this particular. Okay, the title of the sheet should be sales if it is not there, and I need to look it up in the Qlik auto sheet. In case it exists, so it should be clearing it, and so if it exists, then just clear the sheet, and the clearing sheet would be sales, and then do this one. Okay, so good. So let's just run it. Okay, so go to this particular sheet. Let's see what it's doing over here. See, it has cleared the value and it has given us the value. So now let us delete this particular sheet. It's okay, and let's run this again. You see, it has created this particular sheet itself as it doesn't exist it, and we have the value over here. Good. Just one more thing left that I wanted to show you guys before we end this particular video. So that is basically we can append the data in a JSON format as it is. So rather than getting the category and this itself, so we can just have the item, we can get the complete cell as it is. So if I run it, essentially the idea of showing this is to show you a whole new capability of this automation that we haven't touched upon in this particular. You see, I see a JSON list, so you can just pass out it. This might be required somewhere. There is another step that we can do, another area that we can get, that is we just click on it and add a formula. If I click on a formula, so we have this formula, text object, text formula, or for that matter, convert formula. In convert formula, cast values to a list. So just delete this one, the existing one, and let's just run it. So just to give you an idea that there can be a lot of things that we can do. List, JSON, inputs, outputs, and let's see how the next new data has come in. It has come in a same way for that matter. but you can do a lot of functions, conversion functions over there. That's it for today.